Perhaps there is no better day than springtime in Colorado. And if you love the great outdoors,
wider, 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 there you go.
then a day at the racetrack with the Rockies as a backdrop is not bad at all.
So you've got the asphalt.
And on this typical Saturday morning,
You've got the smell of the rubber burning.
at the Dacono track, folks who've ever experienced NASCAR fever
It's something that you can't duplicate anywhere else.
can relate to this.
You get a bunch of these carts out there and
Go-karts buzzing,
they sound like a bunch of angry honeybees chasing each other. But there's something about that sound too.
they're a mini version of the big-time racetrack.
They're small, they run around really, really fast, and they buzz.
And Scott Orr's passion
I'm a big NASCAR racing fan.
is racing.
And make no mistake about it, the thing goes pretty fast. This cart can get up to 60, 70 miles an hour when we got it set up right.
Scott is a crew chief for Left Field Motorsports.
One of the wives came up with it because one day we thought of this and it just came out of left field.
Scott, along with his driver Brian Tetzler,
I think the only times I got really loose.
is also his best friend.
This gives me the chance to be the mechanic, to be the crew chief, to be the guy in charge who makes everything work right in the background.
Firing up the engine,
We have to get up to about 120 degrees before we do anything else.
you'll notice something else.
This is hard to do with my hand shaking.
Scott has Parkinson's disease.
A lot of pain, you know.
So now he's in a different competition.
I could tell by the end of the day he was really hurting. You know, the tremors were really bothering him. The physical exertion on his arm was getting really bad.
His body racing towards a different finish line.
Parkinson's is a degenerative brain disease without a cure.
And he's opening up a window to let us peek inside his life, what it's like to live with Parkinson's and not having control over your body.
We all want attention, but we want it on our own terms. And this takes away your ability to decide whether you get attention or not.
In his daily life, never wanting the spotlight,
I've always been the guy behind the scenes.
Scott's held a lot of jobs in TV, many years ago a photographer, covering different aspects of news for a quarter of a century, even as a helicopter pilot.
I used to fly helicopters, and nobody wants a pilot named Shaky to be flying a helicopter.
We all met Scott when he started at News 2. His racing buddy Brian, also a producer at the station.
I've never known Scott without it.
Scott's now the quiet face behind the News 2 website.
I put all that on the website myself, so that means that I write stories.
As our interactive news producer.
Then I also cut and paste the video that we put on the air so that people can look at the stories online.
But his Parkinson's has its challenges.
You tend to compensate by using the other hand. You have to read very carefully to make sure that you haven't made a typo that you've left by accident. I have to aim carefully these days.
Requiring extra time to make sure he's accurate. There are other complications as well.
I lean on this arm sometimes because it makes some of the tremors easier to control, but in the process of doing that, I've actually worn through the top of my desk.
Passionate about his job.
It takes me longer, but I'm still a newsman.
It was several years ago, 4 years to be exact, when the newsroom gang noticed his hand started shaking.
When I was 38, I was actually sitting at work in a newsroom at a desk, and I noticed my left hand was shaking.
Thinking it was just stress.
It didn't shake constantly. It went away after a while.
When it kept coming back.
Oh, I'm under a lot of stress. Maybe I should go to a doctor.
So he went to his regular doctor to get something to relax.
He did all these things with my hand and moved my hand around and felt my elbow and all this. He walks out, he comes back, and he says, "Well, I'm sorry to tell you, I think you have Parkinson's disease."
Hearing the news that would change his life, his perception about life forever.
I was floored. First of all, you're not supposed to hear that from just your average everyday doctor.
His wife and support system, Shannon, shocked.
My mother's gotten a frequent phone call or email.
His parents from Arizona, floored.
Totally devastating. We probably cried on the phone for close to 3 hours. It just tore us apart.
At first, Scott tried to hide it.
And it's all vanity. You learn the longer you have it, you're not really hiding anything. People know.
But the symptoms.
Sometimes they'll say something, and they'll say, "Oh, what do you have?"
And the pain are all too real.
The muscles are working so hard that you start to have pain in your forearm and your wrists.
Scott's now preparing for life-changing brain surgery with grave risks.
If I'm willing to essentially risk death, which is kind of dramatizing it, maybe that gives you an idea of how important it is to me to not be this way.
A risk he's willing to take for a better life.
I've changed my mind.
Sometimes in life,
Oh, there you go.
it's our friends who help us through.
You got a helicopter landing pad.
They understand when others don't,
Oh, oh, oh.
and cheer us up
Scott, did you at least wash your hair before we do this?
when we are facing the unbearable.
Yes, I did. I didn't want anyone to get my cooties.
For Scott Orr,
I wanted to keep my ear if we could, because I'm going to need that afterwards.
who has Parkinson's,
Ow!
getting ready for brain surgery
It feels a lot cooler.
becomes a party,
To me, he still looks like Bull from Night Court.
a head-shaving party,
It looks interesting.
surrounded by 18 of his closest friends
Oh, it's cold.
You ready?
I'm ready.
and family,
Oh, wow.
many colleagues from News 2,
No blood yet.
It's really chilly up there now.
here to celebrate his life.
Does it make me look older or younger?
Younger.
Rewind to just days earlier, where we take you back to day one of the brain surgery process. Scott, along with his support system and wife Shannon, go in for an MRI.
I'm beginning to have the start of the problems that you have as things progress, where you have problems moving.
First, a snapshot of the brain to know what they're dealing with.
Well, the surgery offers me a chance to have a better quality of life for as long as I can before things get totally out of control.
Diagnosed just 4 years ago with Parkinson's, in just a short time, Scott's life is much different.
This has always been thought of as a disease that old people get. I'm only 42 years old.
His tremors have gotten worse, and he hopes that this brain surgery stops that.
I'll be right in.
Because he's shaking so much, his arms have to be strapped down with a pseudo-heavy straitjacket.
He doesn't realize that he thinks his tremor goes away when he goes to sleep, but it doesn't.
Yes, hi, John McVicker. How are you?
The brain scan is sent over to neurosurgeon Dr. John McVicker and neurologist Dr. Rajiv Kumar for analysis.
So it's going to be something similar to that.
Before surgery, doctors will drill 3 holes in his head to hold a tripod of sorts during the surgery.
There's a little screw that passes through this, holds it.
But like any surgery, brain surgery has its risks.
The worst thing that can happen, which is a hemorrhage into the brain that might, or over the surface of the brain, either one of which might require an emergency operation.
But it is a risk Scott is willing to take after medicine didn't work.
And when patients don't have an adequate response, or the response is complicated by adverse effects, then deep brain stimulation can often be a very helpful adjuvant therapy.
The whole process is trying.
We'll be doing consultation to help the whole deep brain stimulation team understand whether or not you're a good candidate for this procedure.
Scott also meets with a neuropsychiatrist to make sure he doesn't have any pre-existing emotional conditions which could be made worse with the surgery.
I am pretty nervous about today because anything that has the word test associated with it, you can fail.
Scott passes a screening with flying colors, but because of anxiety of having the disease and the anticipation of surgery, he is put on anti-anxiety medication. Fast forward.
You know, you think about a lot of things when people are cutting your hair off.
And back for the finishing touches.
Scott, you're done.
At Scott's head shaving party,
He's like he's Conehead.
Now they can put screws in my head.
his parents watching over by webcam from Arizona.
Oh my God.
And now it becomes clear
Oh God.
that this surgery
This is what I'm gonna look like?
is all too real. 2 days later,
This is the day we're going to put the screws in my head.
the surgeons must implant fiducials or screws for the surgery.
And if you don't think that's scary, the idea of having screws put in your head will give you a good shake.
It's going to be a stick and a sting.
Even though the injection is a bit painful, Scott won't be able to feel it because they numb his head by an injection.
This is so funky.
When the doctor is done with the implants, they wrap his head and send him in for an MRI.
Today isn't bad because I know it's not much of a procedure. Next week will probably be harder. And as long as his cognitive doesn't go away, he'll be happy. Somebody's messing around with your head. It's when that starts to get bad that he'll get really distressed. He would be better if you put him in a wheelchair than if you take away his brains.
It is Monday, April 7th.
Funny thing about time.
A little nervous.
Exactly 4 years ago this week,
I'm trying to work past what they're going to do to my head.
Scott Orr was diagnosed with Parkinson's.
I'm nervous because of the whole concept of drilling into your head.
Over time, his tremors on the left side of his body have gotten worse.
There is a chance that this may not work for me. And that terrifies Shannon. And she's told me more than once. She doesn't worry about them cutting me open, but she's worried about what if it doesn't work as well as I want it to, what will that do to me? I don't know what I'll do if it doesn't work.
And now it's the moment he's feared.
Sweating a lot again, huh?
Well, I'm trying to calm down. I think you have to be a little nervous. I mean, they're drilling a hole in your head, and they're sticking a wire, I mean, literally sticking a wire in your brain.
Today, Scott will undergo life-changing brain surgery. As his best friend, mother, father, and wife
I'll be right back.
say goodbye,
A couple hours.
I'll be right back.
Be waiting for you.
hoping it won't be their last. As he's taken into surgery, it hits home.
That's my boy.
In the waiting room, fear of the unknown.
Yes, it's my son, and it's very, very difficult.
His mother, too upset to talk.
Yeah.
The risk of problems,
I think the first thing that goes through your mind is, will you see him alive?
even death.
It will be really unfortunate if she ends up having to take care of me for X number of years, and then I'm gone and leave her after all that.
Scott taped a message to his wife earlier, just in case he doesn't make it through.
But if things don't go well, this is what I wanted to do to make both of our lives better. And I really appreciate that, because I couldn't do it without you.
Breathe it in and blow it out.
Inside the operating room,
Oh, it feels funky.
a computer diagram outlines the brain surgery plan.
Excellent.
Scrubbing and prepping his head,
You're a professional, so you're allowed to scratch them.
injecting with a numbing agent.
Wow, that one's good.
Scott will be awake for a good part of his brain surgery.
Actually, I was thinking how easy it is to relax.
Does that hurt you at all?
Don't feel a thing.
You're going to feel quite a lot of pressure up here because I'm putting a little hole in your skull.
The reason doctors need to find the place in his brain that is causing his shaking.
Oh my gosh, it's empty.
Brian was right, there's nothing in there.
They use implanted screws to anchor the frame that's used to drill a hole, essentially to put a probe in his brain.
Do I actually have a hole in my head?
Once they find it,
I'm surprised how easily it's gone so far.
doctors will stick a long line down right into the middle of his brain, then implanting an electrode in his brain.
That's very routine. They have this happen a lot.
It's called deep brain stimulation, or DBS.
And then they run a wire down behind my ear, under the skin, down my neck to a sort of a pacemaker device. And that's a small computer that will send impulses to my brain, essentially to override the impulses that tell me to shake now.
After he has his entire system implanted and will be programming his stimulators.
A couple weeks after the surgery, the pacemaker for the brain will be activated to override the electricity in Scott's brain and hopefully make the tremor stop.
It's okay, you're good.
As the surgery progresses,
I do hear that.
they test Scott's hands and learn the Parkinson's hasn't caused serious damage yet.
Very nice. We're about that far above our target. And we have 3 probes, microelectrodes, that are working, being driven slowly. We're looking specifically for nerve cells that fire in time with the tremor.
They listen to his cell response.
The cell kind of responds by purring.
As each second ticks on, all appears to be on track. The monitors tell them they are in the right spot.
Shannon, hi, it's here in the operating room. Everything's going real smoothly.
Relax, relax, Scott.
But just minutes later,
Oh, wow. Can't do as well as I could do before, but I still do
Take your
better.
fist. Open and close.
Whoa.
Are you okay?
I'm really dizzy.
You're dizzy. Hold on.
out of nowhere, complications.
What do you mean by dizzy? You're dizzy. Hold on.
We all know in life there are risks.
What do you mean by dizzy?
I can't describe it any better than all of a
Is there
sudden.
trouble with your vision?
Scott Orr knew there were risks
Trouble with the vision.
with brain surgery. His brain surgery appeared to be going along perfectly.
Can you close your eyes? So you can't close the right eye properly, John.
When something appeared terribly wrong.
So let me touch you here.
But after a series of tests,
Good. Close your eyes again.
Dr. Kumar and McVicker determined.
So Scott,
Yes, sir.
if you feel busy or anything changed, I need to hear from you right away.
That's all it is.
Close your eyes again. It's getting better.
Is a scare.
You okay?
Good.
In the very precise procedure,
Anything?
I'm starting to feel some tingling, I think.
Where?
Left side.
the robotic probe winding through his brain misses the target by just a millimeter or so, hitting the wrong spot.
We are a bit concerned because during the process of electrode implantation, he developed some mild left-sided weakness and some difficulties with double vision.
And they expect to see improvement over the next few days.
So that'll straighten itself out?
Should. We're hoping.
The good news, they locate the area causing his tremors.
You notice the difference?
Oh my God, it's great.
You see how much the tremor is basically almost gone.
Yeah.
For Scott's family,
Tears of joy now.
You know, we just dealt with it, as it went along, hoping that the scientists were, finding something.
tears of relief and comic relief as well.
He won't wear a hole in his desk anymore.
Now I'm expecting him to pick up the cart with one hand. So, to spin it around in his fingers.
And finally, the moment they've all waited for.
Hey, sweetie, how you doing?
Good.
How was everything out there?
Okay.
Just staying overnight, Scott will get to go home the very next day. A couple of weeks later, all appears to be going well. Scott has his staples removed from his head.
Oh, that's it?
That's it.
But Scott is used to challenges by now.
The right side of my face is not moving. I can't move my mouth or my lips. My right eyelid doesn't want to close all the way.
Look at his face. It appears Scott has suffered a stroke. His hand shaking once again.
Let's see.
After the surgery, doctors needed to wait a couple of weeks for the swelling in his brain to go down to program his pacemaker for the brain. This will override the electrical impulses in his brain to make the tremors stop. After a series of tests, Dr. McVicker determines he has Bell's palsy.
Most Bell's palsies take a few weeks or months to get better. Some of them never get better 100%. Some of them get better 100% relatively quickly.
Another unknown. Will the pacemaker for the brain they've implanted stop his shaking when it's activated?
Okay, there I feel it.
What you feeling?
I'm tingling in my hand and in my foot.
As they gauge the machine,
Is that not cool or what?
almost immediately,
It's weird after all these years. It's weird to look at my hand and not see it moving.
his tremors stop.
Wow, I haven't seen that in a long time.
Sweet success.
God, that's fantastic. And that's just the beginning?
That's just the very first contact we're trying.
That's our problem, to worry about that.
And perhaps it's fitting we end up here,
I can't wait to see him, without his hand shaking, him working on the cart.
Got it.
where we first started,
I've got my hand back. It doesn't shake.
at the racetrack.
There we go. A couple weeks ago, this was really tough for me.
The surgery didn't cure his Parkinson's.
Now I can hold it with one hand, read the gauge, no problem.
Before, his hand would shake and then the switch flipped on and he's like a completely different person.
The pacemaker is a temporary fix. It is a treatment to stop the tremors.
I have no idea how long it'll last.
There is no cure for Parkinson's or its symptoms.
Even with this deep brain stimulation, which gets rid of the tremors, it becomes tougher to walk. Your joints don't want to move.
Chances are the tremors will spread to his right side.
And it's really he likes it, demoralizing to have your whole future laid out for you that way.
But he is grateful for now. This moment. Feel a day without unbearable pain.
I'm probably the happiest guy with an incurable brain disease that you'll ever meet.
We know there is more on his journey. We just don't know what lies ahead down the road.
Parkinson's defines me in one way. I'll be damned if I'm going to let it control everything I do. Outstanding.
Wanna do something?
Outstanding, man. That was the best driving I've seen you do.